From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your afternoon update.
When it's more than just your lawn, it deserves the Kubota Z400. When you need a head-turning offer on class-leading speed, agility, durability, simple deck height adjustments, and a professional-grade cut, then you need the Kubota Z400 mower. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 48 months or save $300.
Tractors, trailers, rentals.
You do it all, we do it local.
Well, happy Friday afternoon to you. The weekend is almost here, but the summer heat, yeah, it's returning. You're going to notice it today. You're probably already noticing it here at the noon hour, but we do have a slight drop this weekend, but only by a few degrees. It's still going to be hot over the weekend, especially for the valley. On the coast, you know it's not going to be hot for you. I don't need to say that, right? Hot start to next week, though, but we do expect a gradual drop through next week, especially by the end of next week. Not a major drop. It's not as big of a drop as we were anticipating, but a drop nonetheless. Let's take a look at your neighborhood forecast for today. You know, it depends on where you are in the valley. We've got some mid-90s for the south end of the valley, places like Chico, Oroville, right? But as you head north, closer to Redding, it's about 100 degrees. And then you can see for the mountains, upper 80s. But for Trinity County, more like the mid-90s, and it looks like some mid-60s for the coast here later on this afternoon. Mainly sunny skies, too. Now, the winds, yeah, a little breezy out there this afternoon for the coast here, but otherwise, we're not looking at very strong winds for the rest of us. A little breezy in some spots here. Starts off with calm winds to start off Saturday morning, but Saturday afternoon, all those winds are picking back up again. Unfortunately, the eastern mountains, a little bit more breezy in the valley, and it's still looking at some gusty winds here along the coast too. Taking into your Sunday, it does look like the winds may subside a bit, although it looks like the winds are picking up in Del Norte and Humboldt counties, even some of the inland areas as well, and even some gusty winds possibly out towards northern and central Siskiyou County here. That would be the Shasta Valley right there in central Siskiyou County. So essentially that would elevate that fire weather risk. Bottom line is we're still in the fire season. We've still got to watch that. We look at the humidity levels as we go into this afternoon. We're in the single digits for the valley, single digits for the eastern mountains. That is going to elevate the fire weather risk, even though the winds aren't as strong. Now, as we go into Saturday, yeah, we're still looking at some pretty low humidity levels. Winds are stronger. It's fairly hot. So yes, elevated fire risk, especially in the eastern mountains, but even in the valley, you saw the winds are picking up a little bit there as well. It's still fairly hot. So we've got to be extra careful here over the next couple of days. For your Sunday, still looking at very dry conditions, but again, the winds are dying down a bit here. Still in the single digits to lower teens, that is, here for the valley. A little bit higher in that humidity level off into the eastern mountains. So once again, that's the fire weather risk. It's still kind of in that moderate to high range. All right, so here we have these storm systems. You can kind of see them right here, just riding to our north. That's significant because we still have high pressure in place, and that's the reason why it's so hot. But that high pressure is not getting as strong as it would like to. Now, we'll get into that here in a second, but there you can see some of the fog that may redevelop this afternoon and evening around Eureka. Tomorrow morning, there you can see that fog kind of hugging the coast a little bit. So we may start off with some fog Saturday morning before it burns off again Saturday afternoon, although it may be a little bit more persistent for places around Eureka and Humboldt Bay. Let's take you into your Sunday morning, again around Humboldt Bay, down on Highway 101 here. We're seeing some of that, looks like even around Blue Lake as well. Not as bad though, heading up to the north. Sunday afternoon, yeah, it looks like the clouds and the fog may begin to dissipate with more sunshine up and down the coast, and of course sunshine everywhere else. All right, so here's the overall trend. Remember I was talking about, we got the high pressure of the desert Southwest, high pressure of the Eastern Pacific. We also have these storms up to our north that just continue to ride to our north. What that's doing and what these storms are doing is they're not necessarily moving over us, but as they move to our north, it suppresses the heat that tries to build into Northern California. But it's not necessarily suppressing it today, right? And over the weekend, you see how this is kind of riding Saturday, Sunday to our north? That's suppressing this heat a little bit. As a result, we're seeing a slight drop in our temperatures for Saturday and Sunday. But once that moves out, this is allowing both of these ridges of high pressure to join forces We have a little bit of a ridge of high pressure. It's fairly flat, right? But we're still getting up close to, if not even over 100 degrees for some of us in the valley for Monday, Tuesday. But then what's going to happen is, see this cooler air right here? Doesn't look very impressive because it really isn't, because it's going to continue to move off to the east, but it's going to flatten out the ridge. This heat moves to the south and east, and this heat moves way off to our west. This one's more impressive. Now, this is going a long way out, folks. This is going to the end of next week into a week from this upcoming Saturday. But if this holds true, this would bring us significantly cooler weather, and it would also maybe bring us a chance for some rain. That said, the European forecast model, which, by the way, yesterday, this is what the European forecast model looked like for next Thursday. That's completely gone now. So the European forecast model is not as aggressive with this area of low pressure, keeps it a little bit more to the north, and wouldn't bring us any rain or as cool of temperatures. So there is some discrepancy, but we're beginning to see a little bit more alignment in the long range here, but still not enough for us to be very confident in looking at this and going, this is what's going to happen. Because I'm not saying this is what's going to happen. I'm just saying this is the trend that we're seeing, at least with one of the forecast models. But I tell you what, this would be nice, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it be nice to, in October, to start seeing some of those cooler temperatures finally make their way back, but not guaranteed at this point. All right, so let's take a look at what we expect here for today. Temperature is about 100 degrees for Reading. You head southward, it does drop a little bit here, mid-90s there. Temperatures 80s for most of the higher elevations, but as you head into the Trinity County, mid-90s, mid to even some upper 90s inland, and some mid-60s for the coast. All right, looking at your 7-day outlook for the valley. I sound like a broken record with the up and down and the roller coaster ride, but that's essentially what's happening. This is reality. You see how they're going down a little bit here, a little bit over the weekend, back up for Monday, Tuesday, and then back down again towards the middle and latter part of next week. That's the trend for everyone, even the coast, right? You're seeing a temperature drop over the weekend, back up and then back down. Just not as dramatic, obviously, for the coast, but inland, Trinity County, Siskiyou County, Modoc County, the Eastern Mountains, all seeing that up and down trend, but mainly for the mountains, we're keeping it in the 80s for the next 7 days with some of those warmer days in the low 90s. That's your afternoon update. I'll be back at 6 p.m. for your weekend forecast.
Barr & Mudford is a top established firm here in the North State. Founded over a half-century ago, Barr & Mudford is protecting the rights of our neighbors and community. We take our commitment to our clients very seriously and provide a level of excellence unrivaled in the North State. Barr & Mudford, standing up for the rights of our neighbors and our beautiful community, serving Northern California with excellence.